Another AEW debut. We are going to talk about it in today's video. Also, in addition to that, we are talking about Tony Khan, who finally responds to Eric Bischoff's comments, and we are going to update you on the Mustafa Ali story. As you guys know, Mustafa Ali has requested his release from WWE. If you guys want more news videos like this, don't forget to click that subscribe button, ring that bell. This way you could get notified every single day because we're always keeping you updated. All right, guys, so Mustafa Ali, yes, we talked about this earlier. He requested his release from WWE. If you guys want more information on that, just go to the channel. You could see the most recent videos. It is there. However, on top of that, we do got to discuss an update because it was later on discovered by Fightful. Sean Ross Sapp came out and discussed, there was some information that came out that Mustafa Ali was actually not on paternity leave. He's actually been sent home by the WWE due to a heated argument with Vince McMahon. Now, I'm not going to keep, talking about this. I want to keep this part of the video very short-lived. But just one thing I want to say. If Mustafa Ali got into a heated argument with Vince McMahon, something needs to change in WWE because Mustafa Ali is known to be one of the nicest guys in wrestling and just one of the nicest people out there. And a lot of people have high regard for him. In order for him to have a disagreement with WWE and the way he's being positioned tells me that WWE has a bigger issue. And I think right now what we are seeing with WWE, and it's something that's been said by a lot of people, whether it's Eric Bischoff or whatever it may be, WWE continues the same formula. They continue to make foreigners, these heel characters, and WWE just sticks to what they know and they never try something new. In order for me to really make myself clear here, I'm just going to say this once and for all. Whether or not you like Mustafa Ali, it should be very telling when you have stories of a guy like Mustafa Ali having issues with Vince McMahon. It should tell you that maybe WWE's issue really does stem from Vince McMahon. And I don't think things will change until Vince, Johnny Laurinaitis, Bruce Pritchard, and Kevin Dunn are all gone. I think once they're gone, I think Nick Khan, Trish, Triple H, and Stephanie, I think if they're running the show, I think things would be much better off. All right, guys, Tony Khan has responded to some very interesting comments from Eric Bischoff. Now, as you guys know, the Toronto Star has posted an article between the competition of WWE and AEW. Basically, what was referenced was Bischoff's original comments. The WWE product is just as successful as it's been over the last 20 or 25 years. The bad news is the formula that keeps WWE in the position that they're currently in and enjoying is a very safe and sterile formula. Kind of what I said earlier, right? The name change, the outfit changes, nothing ever really changes. It's very formulaic, and it's not attracting new viewers. I probably butchered that. But anyways, Tony Khan's response was, I don't care what night the shows are on. It's really irresponsible for Eric Bischoff to say that because I don't pick what night the show is on. These are the time slots that I was assigned. So this is basically in contrast to these earlier comments with Bischoff talking about Tony Khan not going head-to-head. Because Bischoff did clearly say, if they don't have the balls to go head-to-head, then shut up and wrestle. And I honestly, look, I know how it is with television and stuff like that. You got to do what the TV partners want. And AEW won't move to Monday nights because of Monday Night Football. Also, at the same time, too, as a wrestling fan, I'm just being very honest here. I think the time slots, as much as Rampage sucks being at 10 p.m., that's just the way it is, and I wouldn't change it. I don't want head-to-head competition. Honestly, I don't think it's going to make any company better. I think head-to-head competition is probably the worst idea in 2022 because whether or not you like WWE, like AEW, like Impact, it is much better to watch wrestling every night unopposed. I think that is way more enjoyable. The Wednesday Night Wars, I don't think people actually truly got to enjoy AEW's product or NXT because you're watching it on two or three screens. You're watching it side by side. You're not listening to everything. You're not fully focused to the product. So my thing is Tony Khan is absolutely right. I think Eric Bischoff's comments are irresponsible, and I think Eric Bischoff, for him to say shut up and wrestle, my whole thing is like, look, I get what you're trying to do. I see it very clearly, but AEW and WWE's competition is much different than WCW and WWE's. All right, guys, in our final story of the day, we are going to be talking about a new AEW debut. But again, I just want to remind you, we do have Ango Plays on YouTube. Go ahead and check out the link below. I go over all the details on WWE 2K22, the official leaked cover and pre-order bonuses on that channel as well. I do bring AEW's video game coverage, so I'd greatly appreciate it. We're about 100 subscribers away from 1,000. I'd greatly appreciate if you guys would help me out. All right, guys, and now we have some news. Rohit Raju, also known as Hakeem Zayn on the independent scene, has made his debut for AEW. Now, if you're a fan of pro wrestling and you watch Impact Pro Wrestling, Rohit Raju is also known as the former X Division champion in Impact Wrestling. And for a couple of years, he's done some really incredible stuff on that show. In fact, I've said this a lot about Impact, and that's why I'm actually excited about this debut. I say that Impact does a really good job of making people who you typically wouldn't care about them. And Rohit Raju was the perfect mix between a comedy character and a serious character. He's done some intergender wrestling matches with Impact. He's done some of like the throwback throwdown stuff. He knows his role and he plays his role very well. Hakeem Zayn, Rohit Raju, whatever you know him as, he's a really talented wrestler. And I think for AEW to bring him into AEW Dark is a really good thing. And I don't know if there's any news on them signing Rohit Raju, but I think AEW, and for all reasons, right, if you're going to sign people from other wrestling companies, I think it's okay to sign people for AEW Dark and Dark Elevation. You know, like they don't have to be quote unquote main roster. I would like to see AEW kind of form their own difference between the two. I'm not saying brand split, but I'm saying in a weird way. I think if you're on Dark and Elevation, for the most part, you shouldn't be on the main roster shows of Rampage or Dynamite. I would like to see maybe that's a big change. And I think you could sign people to the shows, Dark and Elevation, give them a chance to perform, see what, opportunities there are. And then whether it's injuries or storylines or whatever it may be, then you could call them up to Dynamite and Rampage. I think if AEW could maybe split up the rosters this way, certain signings make sense. I think it could be really cool. This way, if you are also going to sign a lot of people, you're not going to have this issue of setting the right expectation that not everybody's immediately going to be in the AEW Dynamite main event. You know what I mean? But very interesting stuff. I like AEW working with Rohit Raju. I think he's going to work really good in their system. Hopefully, they announce some sort of signing. And again, I just think as more signings come along, because I've been saying this in previous videos, I hate the idea of AEW signing so many people. Now it's becoming abundantly clear that AEW is probably going to be releasing a lot of people, not releasing them, but they're not going to be re-signing them when those contracts are up. So if that's the case, if you're letting a lot of talent go after their contracts expire, then I'm all for it. And I like the fact that they're not necessarily going after these big wigs either. Guys like Rohit Raju is somebody who got himself over in Impact. Not a massive signing by any means, but again, it's an opportunity to bring maybe an unfamiliar face to a program that people could get familiar with, and then you could kind of craft them the way that you want. Anyways, I want to know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.